UK Tzu Chi volunteers continue to care for Gypsy families at a trailer park ever since the 2015 flood. Kuanshan Tzu Chi Hospital's IDS medical team reaches out to patients in mountainous areas. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Sue. Thank you for joining us. Back in December of 2015, York in northern England was flooded by heavy rains. A trailer park was located in a low-lying area, and 20 Gypsy families were affected. Tzu Chi volunteers helped them through this difficult time and continue to look after them to this day.
Today's weather forecast calls for heavy rain or a snowstorm, but the weather is good. Tzu Chi volunteers prepared gift bags including noodles, biscuits, and tinned food to participate in a special charitable event for Gypsy families.
Thank you for having us.
Merry Christmas, Anna.
Thank you for coming. I've really enjoyed it, and they really love the song. You've really added the magic to Christmas.
Flooding on Christmas Eve 2015 led volunteers to care for these individuals, and they have been similarly looked after every year since. These gifts wrapped in handkerchiefs are eco-friendly.
I found out about today through the York Travellers Trust. It's been a really lovely day, and I think it's been really nice with the presents that the children received from the organisation that was here today. They've been really helpful, and we look forward to seeing them in the future.
I'd really like to thank Tzu Chi Foundation for coming and being part of our event and just sharing some good feelings with us all, as well as some lovely presents for the children and the families. That was really warmly received.
Showing concern for those unable to attend the event, volunteers visited these camper vans one by one, making sure that no Gypsy family would be isolated. Seeing this familiar figure, someone ran out to greet them without wearing a jacket. Once a year, the love continues to warm these hearts, even if the weather outside is below zero.
In Indonesia, Jakarta Tzu Chi volunteers have started to distribute aid supplies and cook hot meals for tsunami survivors in Banten. They've also held a free clinic there. Meanwhile, in Muli, Tzu Chi volunteers equally held a distribution with the assistance of the Navy. Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at Sumar town later than expected because they were stuck in the middle of the journey due to heavy rains. Therefore, the volunteers seized the time to go to the village and distribute supply vouchers to the affected residents.
Nggak ada roboh, nggak ada sakit penyakit, sedikit sakit pun apa? Iya itu cari. Kita minta Bapak Ibu juga. We hope everyone will accept our help with a broad mind. May God, Allah, protect us. Thank you for helping out. Allah memberkati kita semuanya. Amin.
On the next morning, the residents who have received supply vouchers have come to receive daily supplies. The volunteers also cook hot meals and set up a simple medical station. Meanwhile, in Muli, Tzu Chi volunteers headed to Lengundi Island to distribute daily supplies, including hygiene products, food, and clothes. The volunteers will also work to calm the residents' anxious minds. A total of 500 volunteers and guests attended to this year's blessing ceremony in Taidong. Besides presenting a sutra adaptation performance, the volunteers also showed a video of Tzu Chi's 2018 global footprints. At the event, Dharma Master Zheng Yan also encouraged everyone to keep doing good deeds and spread great love.
The Taidong year-end blessing ceremony began with a sutra adaptation performance given by both the already certified and soon-to-be certified Tzu Chi commissioners, followed by the 2018 Tzu Chi Footprints video, which included the Puyoma Express train derailment incident.
Impermanence happened and we must accept it. I'm very grateful to all the Tzu Chi volunteers and to Dharma Master Zheng Yan's constant love and care as well.
The volunteers continue to provide comfort and care to the affected during this difficult recovery and mourning period.
We are all healing under the constant care of the volunteers. I believe that all this love and blessing we have received will help us to get back on our feet soon.
The red envelopes of wisdom and blessings were also given out to each individual. It's with great hope that everyone can continue to cultivate wisdom and shoulder more responsibilities for humanity in the upcoming new year.
口说好话，心行好事， 心想好意，真的，哎，时时都是安尼。组织人现在伫这50几个国家，很积极，在带动了善华入世，带动大家人爱有善心，爱做善事。入人间，
遍传心灯
lighting up each one of our hearts to guide the people out of darkness, praying sincerely for both harmonized and purified world.
In our next report, we'll meet a 77-year-old volunteer from Taitung.宋美智has been volunteering with Tzu Chi for 32 years. Although her family's financial situation was not ideal, she was still able to save money to help other people in need.
The small vegetable garden is宋美智's little world. Already 77 years old, she has the secrets to staying healthy. She arrived at the Taidong Jinsi Hall at 4:30 a.m. to listen to Dharma Master Zhen Yan's morning Buddhist teachings. Song Mei-zhi and her husband Yu Hui-shong both joined Tzu Chi in 1987. They have helped support each other ever since they started to conduct home visits. However, to care for a family of 7, Ms. Song also provided home milk delivery services.
I had to start by delivering 5 cans on the first day. Back then, the money was in large denominations. I earned 5 dimes each time.
Song Mei-zhi accumulated her fortune little by little. She has not only donated a hospital ward, but also trained nearly 100 volunteers.
Song Mei-zhi and other volunteers always encourage us and care for us. She is quite concerned about care recipients, as she visits them very often. She also helps them clean and repair their homes. After she went out to care for these individuals, she usually asked me to find some time to visit them with her again.
This year, her husband Yu Hui-shong passed away and became a silent mentor. However, this does not discourage her. Instead, she is more devoted to caring for people in need.
There's no difficult things in her life. Moreover, she's able to help different people in appropriate ways.
As the 2018 year-end blessing ceremony, Song Mei-zhi shows everyone that she is not old, as she can continue to do more good deeds.
Dharma Master Zhen Yan has visited Haidong Ren'ai Senior Citizens Home. Tzu Chi is the one that has been helping them construct a new building, which will be inaugurated in February 2019.
As Dharma Master Zhen Yan waves at the volunteers and architects, many of them couldn't hide their feelings of happiness.
Tzu Chi helped us with constructing a new building at the senior citizens' home. I would say it's a blessing for Taidong as well. I'm very glad that we can look after these seniors with better facilities. I'm thankful for all of you.
Tzu Chi Foundation started the construction in January of 2018. Now, almost 90% of the construction work is done. The volunteers, who are also architects, specially designed the building according to the weather, as the solar panels were installed on the rooftop.
The nursing staff members help the seniors take a shower one by one. By using a solar-powered water heater, they don't need to worry about the shortage of hot water. This is more convenient for them.
Most of the elders at Taidong Senior Citizens Home come from low-income households. A total of 111 seniors are currently staying here. The place is at overcapacity. Therefore, the new building can accommodate more seniors in the near future, providing good care services for them.
Kuanshan Tzu Chi Hospital has been caring for the elderly population and children who live in remote areas. In collaborations with the Ministry of Health and Welfare, the Integrated Delivery System medical team has been operating for 17 years already in order to provide high-quality medical services to the residents in mountainous areas. A 3-member IDS medical team travels on a regular basis to visit the patients. How many years have I been counting medication? 13 or 14 years, I think. I came in 2005, so yeah, around there.
我先给你们拿药，吴医师要我们先拿上去的，3个，上去我们再给那个洪医师那个批价，开单。
Cho Xiaofen is a home care nurse at the Kuanshan Tzu Chi Hospital. She's also a member of the Integrated Delivery System medical team, a doctor, a nurse, plus a driver. The 3-member IDS team is heading to a tribe located in a mountainous area.
Up there in the mountains, it's mostly the elderly and children, so for them to leave the area is very inconvenient because they can't drive themselves and there are only 2 times the bus will pass by the area. Thus, it's really difficult. As you can see, for us to go to them, of course, it's a lot easier on them.
所以我们是他们唯一的医疗来源。
没错。
I've been the driver for about 5 years now. To tell the truth, the route is quite dangerous. In fact, there are many risks. For example, if it rained the day before and then the next day is sunny, the chance of falling rocks are really high. Whenever we head up the mountain roads, it's really easy to encounter some type of sporadic rockfall. It's just smaller rocks, that's all. However, one time we encountered a rock falling in landslide that was as big as a tour bus. All the falling stones directly piled up right in front of us.
Due to the collapse of the mountainside, we have no choice but to walk on foot over this hanging bridge. Then we must climb up the old mountain trail to get to the residence.
Ever since the very beginning, it didn't matter rain or shine, or if there were any falling rocks or landslides, we must find a way. As long as there is some road that was okay to travel on, we'll take it. Because at that time, all the big roads were closed due to falling rocks. So we ended up taking a hanging bridge route to go up the mountain. I think maybe we really do carry the spirit and mission of medical professionals. Tzu Chi volunteer Xie Guorong has been delivering assistive devices to those in need for more than 10 years already. He and other volunteers have established a platform where people exchange second-hand assistive devices. Recently, they delivered an electric bed to a solitary senior who has difficulties getting out of bed. Tzu Chi volunteers carried a 70-kilogram electric bed up the 82 steps. Finally reaching the house on the hilltop. Grandpa Sun, who lives alone, often feels dizzy and has difficulty safely getting up from his bed. Therefore, the volunteers assembled the electric bed and taught him how to operate it.
In the future, when you want to get up, first adjust the bed, then rest for 5 minutes before getting out of bed, okay?
The volunteers felt at ease knowing that Grandpa Sun has learned the proper ways to use the bed.
Normally, when we deliver assistive devices to people, we seldom encounter people who are in good health conditions, so the experience usually leaves us quite heavy-hearted. However, today, seeing the grandpa, we felt very happy that he is in such good health conditions, despite being 92 years old.
Xie Guorong has been delivering assistive devices for more than 10 years already. Upon learning that Mr. Xie, who is 82 years old, also needs some assistance, the volunteers carried a 100-kilogram electric bed to his residence.
In the past, we felt a lot of stress regarding the situation. Now we can feel at ease having this assistive device. We no longer have to worry about how my elderly father can safely get in and out of bed every day.
They carry it up the stairs for us and got it already. During the entire process, they didn't want access for any payment. I feel so surprised that people can do such good deeds just out of the kindness of their hearts.
Seeing how the people in need can feel at ease, the volunteers felt their efforts are all worthwhile. Li Yixun is a breast cancer survivor. 10 years ago, she found out that she had stage 4 breast cancer. For her family, she bravely faced the diagnosis head-on. She fell in love with succulents when she fell ill due to the sense of calmness that they gave her. Therefore, she later became a horticultural therapist.
对它有一种，我觉得它有一种魔力。
Now here with this one, looking at its leaves, there's something out of the ordinary about it. So it's like, whoa, we found a treasure piece. During the process of exploring, your mind is actually very calm. There aren't a lot of outside interferences.
Every week, Li Yixun heads to the flower market to hunt for treasures. When it comes to succulents, she describes it as a type of infatuation.
Its vitality comes out in full force. During this process, we're all looking for its life source, and also the strength that they provide for me.
Her real name is Li Yixun, but her friends call her Abundant Peace. Just like how she bravely fights her illness, other than courage, she also needs to be surrounded by peacefulness.
In this part of the bone, there are cancer cells, also here in my cranial bone, and the 3 ribs here. However, whenever I'm in pain, I don't really feel it because I'm always in contact with my plants, so I'm constantly feeling very happy.
She hopes that through her own strength, she can let others know that they too have hope.
For her children to be able to see them grow up, she has changed a lot. She hopes that she can accompany her children longer.
When she was 30 years old, her youngest daughter was only a year and a half. When she was still breastfeeding, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. The cancer cells had already metastasized.
My breast milk had a different color. It turned into a bit orange, reddish color. Then the doctor told me that he didn't know how long I had to live.
This was a huge bomb that was dropped on the family.
My father-in-law, in front of everyone in the office, just broke down crying. I think that I'm very unfilial. How can I let an elderly man cry because of me?
That year, for the family and her 3 young children, she bravely faced the illness. In a blink of an eye, 10 years have already passed. Even now, she still puts her children first. She would paint with her children. The child uses the brush to vent their uneasiness and frustrations. Each painting on the wall is a record of their mother's cancer journey.
She said, since mom doesn't have any hair, let's put a scarf over her head, okay? She said, okay, but I want to make it rainbow colored. She stressed it needed to be super colorful. When I had cancer, she was always by my side, and throughout this whole journey, she has been painting, and I'm by her side. So whenever I'm the most sad and frustrated, she's singing it all.
They know the health conditions of their mother. They're all frustrated and reluctant as well, especially the youngest. She feels the deepest emotions.
I would tell myself that for then I need to take good care of myself, need to get better faster.
She did do what she set out to do. She's in a much better place now. A 10-year journey battling cancer, other than taking care of her family, she also became a horticultural therapist.
From plants, I saw the resilience of humans. When we encounter many difficulties in life, all happening at once, we would take the time to reflect. Then we would tell ourselves that we need to stand tall and move on with our lives.
Being in contact with flowers and plants is a type of therapy for the mind. It allows one's negative emotions to vent out. In the future, she hopes to use horticulture as a way to heal people's pain and suffering.
I would just like to do things that both make me happy and can help others at the same time. I think this is the meaning of my existence. In our next report, we'll meet an elderly recycling volunteer who's dedicated to recycling despite her illnesses. 87-year-old recycling volunteer Chen Yueying's body started to tremble 6 years ago. However, she insisted on going out to collect recyclables due to the importance of protecting the environment. For more than 20 years, Grandma Chen Yueying has been dedicated to recycling. The only difference is that she has changed from riding a bicycle to an electric vehicle because her body trembles uncontrollably.
I enjoy doing recycling. I started volunteering upon learning about Tzu Chi. When I ride my vehicle and see recyclables on the road, I'd stop and collect them. I always carry bags with me.
The community residents will also save the recyclables for Grandma Chen. She hangs them on her vehicle and brings them back home or to the temple her son is in charge of. Then the two of them will sort them out.
At her age, she still has the ability to volunteer and go to places. I'm very grateful.
She feels for Dharma Master Zheng Yan, so she feels that she cannot stop recycling. She needs to continue the volunteer work. This is what she said to us in the past.
Grandma Chen often shares her joy of doing recycling with other volunteers. Seeing how hardworking she is, many volunteers also vow to learn from her. Next, we'll meet a group of recycling volunteers who work at the Jinglong Jinsi Hall recycling station. During the entire year, they have never stopped volunteering, not even for one day.
Keelung City recycling volunteers regularly collect plastic bags from stores to traditional market vendors.
In general, the manufacturers that recycle plastic bags are limited. Plus, they all drive large trucks, which demands a specific amount, at least 1 ton, before they are willing to come pick it up.
I volunteer at the recycling station for about a year and 8 months already. There's not a single day that we did not do recycling. It's 365 days of non-stop collecting and sorting.
These volunteers work so hard that they even have slight hunchbacks. The public members saw their enormous efforts and cares for their well-being.
We separated the plastic bags from other items to make it easier for you guys to collect, or else it will be difficult for you to sort them among all the garbage.
We try to tell our customers not to use plastic bags, but to bring their own reusable bags. It's better for the environment.
After collecting piles of plastic bags, the volunteers head back to the recycling station at the Gypsy Jinsi Hall. This is where another process begins. During the whole process, each step is laborious. However, the volunteers never complain and keep on working with a joyful heart.
Although my body feels tired, but it gives me a sense of fulfillment. I will go home and say to myself that today was a very productive day.
I have to take 4 buses in order to get here. I'm used to it by now. It's good that everyone gets along well here. Since we have switched to working in the basement, our skin got whiter. Unlike the outdoor location before, everyone was really tan.
Despite the hardships, the volunteers continue to do the work. All of them have the same goal, to make the environment a clearer and better place to live in.
The staff members and volunteers at the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter pray for the tsunami survivors in Indonesia. They've also donated and filled coin banks, hoping to help the affected residents rebuild their homes. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. See you next year.